Hey, well, good morning. Welcome to Physics Day Live. I'm Chris. I'm late. One of the problems that you have on this system that I use is you have different folders about the place, and I was doing all my prep. I was doing my prep in the wrong folder. Such is life. But anyway, we're here with you today, and it's going to be a little short update, really, because we've got a couple of bits and pieces to say, and I think they're important enough to do this because it's actually my birthday and I shouldn't be here at all. I should be laying on a couch being fed, as you know, grapes and attractive young women. What can you say? Can I say that? No, I'm probably going to get smacked in the gob. There you go. Never mind. Okay. Happy birthday to me from Dave PL and from young Adam over there in Ipswich. Thank you so much, guys. What have we got for you today? Well, we've got some interesting stuff. I think the most interesting single story that we've got today is this one. German port workers accept 9.4% now. And apparently they will be also having 4.4% as part of this deal next year. So they've actually done a 2-year deal for about, 14% essentially. But they've written in a couple of interesting things that Felixstowe dockers might want to take note of. They've written in an additional 1% on next year's figure in case inflation goes beyond a certain number. Can't remember what it is. Read the story this morning and I thought I'd better bring it to you. So 9.4% plus 4.4% minimum next year. What do you think? I think that sounds a bit more reasonable. I'm not convinced it sounds very reasonable. Thank you very much, Carolyn. It seems close to the 10% that I know everybody's looking for. We know that the dockers were actually balloted, I think, or polled to see what they thought was the appropriate number back at the end of last year, and I think that was 10% was the figure, and that 10% went to the company, and they rejected it out of hand and said 5%. So that's why we're where we are here. But the reality, I think, on this 9.4, it seems a bit closer, and it seems, I don't know, possibly acceptable. I don't know. If the German port workers think it's acceptable, is their position the same as Felixstowe's port workers? I am not sure. Thank you, Sheila. So there you go, guys. What do you think? I'd love to know what dock workers think and port workers think at this point. If you believe that 9.4% could be acceptable to Felixstowe port workers, what about it, Felixstowe dock? Why don't you get off your butts and sort this one out and do a deal for next year at the same time? It's interesting to see where they go, because the other question you have to ask, when the German port workers have done this, does this also mean that any Hutchison subsidiaries that work in Germany have actually offered this as well? Because that's the other half of the question, isn't it? This is a global company and they do deals around the world. So what's the story, guys? Okay. What do you think? I would love to know what you think of that. Give us a love, give us a like if you like what we're doing here on Felixstowe Live. The more information you give us, the more information we can publish. Don't forget, let me just bring up that little poster here and say this one. Save, and let's go for that. There we go. So let's just remind port workers, especially of this. If you write to us a direct message, a personal message to Felixstowe Live, then we guarantee your confidentiality. So it's up to you. The more information we have, the more we can publish, and we're happy to do so. We do fact checking to a degree here, so you can't tell us any old rubbish. But if we think it's factual and we've done a check on it, then fair enough. We will give it a go. We will publish what we can when we can. Okay, so make a comment. Let me hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me what you think. Tell me what's going through your mind on this particular topic. I'm going to come back to this particular one shortly and see where we go. Got to ask you now a big question. It appears that the dock have said to dockers, to port workers, don't come back till Tuesday. I've had a couple of suggestions about this. One is that they're planning to move in as many ships as they can on Monday, on Bank Holiday Monday, and fill the port up with ships. I don't know whether that's true or not. That's just one of those stories. The other thing that someone said to me is this the port just being petty to save a bit of overtime payment, or more to the point, to deny some overtime payments to the port workers, because of course the port workers have said the strike ends on Sunday. We're happy to go back to work on Monday. But the port apparently has said, no, don't come back till Tuesday. Confirm that if you wish. We'd love to hear from you. And let's see what people are saying. Okay, let's move on to one. There's one question I want to ask people because I cannot get an answer to this one. We've been tracking, obviously, DFDS ferries to see what's happening, and it seems that every evening they're sailing a ferry and they're bringing one in somewhat later, going on Ro-Ro 4, and we don't know quite what they're doing. We know they are moving trailers between the ports, between Vlaardingen and Felixstowe, and they've been running a 2-ship shuttle, so it's 1 ship each day. At the moment, I think it's Tulipa Seaways that's alongside, and she'll be sailing sometime this evening. And later this evening, Acacia Seaways, I think, will come in, maybe one of the other ones, but who knows. But one of the other ones will come in this evening. And so DFDS ferries look like they're moving 100, 150, maybe 200 ferries a day. Trailers a day. I am not entirely sure. If you know, I'd love to know. Send me a message, send me a text, or send me a Facebook message, which is the easy way to do it. Don't forget, if you send us any messages, those messages with information are kept confidential. Okay, what else have we got? Well, the dock demos on the roundabout. Expect big demo days for Friday and Saturday, I'm told. I'm told there's something interesting happening on Saturday, so we'll be there and we'll see what we can do to bring you a bit more news from the roundabout. We'll also be there tomorrow morning. Guys, if you've got anything to say, I'll be happy to see you and have a chat, hopefully, on Friday morning. But we'll be there on Saturday and Sunday as well to keep in touch with what's happening and hopefully hear about the port making a better offer. Wouldn't that be good? So what do you think? I still want to know about that. Let's just get through my stack of, there we go, to there and say, what do you think about that offer? I'm fascinated to get some, excuse me, I'm fascinated to get some comments on this offer that the German port workers have accepted, apparently, a couple of days ago. 9.4%. That's 0.5% less than Unite and the Felixstowe port workers have been sticking out for. Is it a worthwhile punt? I don't know. The German workers accepted it, and they also accepted the 9.4%. Sorry, the 9.4 and the 4.4% for next year. So what do you think? Is this something that Felixstowe port workers could put up with, or are they going to stick for the 0.5%? And more to the point, are the Port of Felixstowe going to get their offer to that figure? Because I think, to be honest with you, looking at those figures and looking at the figures that have been rejected, I think it makes reasonable sense to take that one. I don't know how far you feel like sticking out for 0.5%. So if you could talk the port into providing that number, which we must suspect that they're paying in Germany, don't know. So let's see where we go with that. If you know anything, don't forget you can write to us at Felixstowe Live in complete confidentiality. We always keep people's confidentiality when they write to us privately. because that's what we do. Okay, I'm just going to move my page to see what else we've got on here. We've got any more comments on this, because some of the comments that we get we can and cannot use. Okay, I'm gonna just say one more thing, and then I'm going to depart. The thing I'm going to say is specifically aimed, I think, at people who use the port and are not employed by the ports. One of the things that I get really quite annoyed about is people, specifically lorry drivers, who I know a lot of lorry drivers pretty well. And one of the issues that lorry drivers always have is obviously delay time. Let me say to you guys that it's nothing to do with the Dockers these days. Felixstowe operates a terminal operating system called NGen, which is a homemade thing made by the wonderful Hutchison Ports. And it has a real history of failure. When it came in back in, I think, 2018, it was a disaster. We actually called it the Felixstowe fiasco. And I think the reality of NGen is that NGen controls everything on the port. It operates in some fairly specific ways. My feeling is it operates heavily in favour of the quayside operations. So the boxes going to and from the quayside, we think, take priority over truck drivers. So when truck drivers start going on and saying, "Oh, Felixstowe Dock is a dreadful place, the dockers are so lazy," the reality, mate, is that your job hasn't turned up on the RTG drivers' screen, because their priority through NGen is essentially with moving stuff to and from the ships. And I guess the reality is that your real beef, lorry drivers, is with the port management, who don't seem able to get the system to work properly. Haven't for years. Maybe one day they will. Okay, let's pick up those comments now and see what we got. What have we got? Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we've got some happy birthdays. I'll give you the happy birthdays because I like those. All right. I hope you're keeping well. Well, I am. Yes, thank you so much. And Trish says, yep, that's right. And William, what have we got there, William? I expect we would if we got our withheld wages back into our pay. This is the bonus thing, as you probably know, if you're a port worker. I understand this is the bonus scheme, which is more like withheld wages. The bonus scheme and stuff like that, scary as hell. We want to talk about this, and I think probably tomorrow, when I've got more time, because it's my birthday today. I haven't had a lot of time to spend, but I'm planning to do something tomorrow, a little bit more about the way that banked shifts work, which sounds like an awful way of conducting business with your employees. So there is that one. And the other one we want to talk about is the actual bonus scheme itself. So there you go. Let's go on to this one. That's because, well, this goes back to the comment we made about the priorities on NGen. If the boat is delayed, the port lose money. If a lorry is held up, it costs them nothing. And I think that's precisely right. I think that lorry drivers and hauliers too need to get in gear with the program a little bit and start saying it is not necessarily anything to do with the dockers. It is more to do with the system that the dock workers are forced or governed by. The dock workers are governed by NGen. The jobs that come up on the screen, they do them, because if they didn't do them, excuse me, they would get real hassle. So the bottom line to that is NGen, yep, you're right, NGen, Gareth, is a nightmare, and it belongs to Hutchison, and it still, I gather, doesn't really work properly, or properly in favour of actually doing the job properly. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, William, thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. What else we got? Have we got one? Keep up. I'll do my best, Neil. I'm increasingly damned elderly, so sometimes I can't keep up the good work, but we do our best. Okay. Companies will suffer surely. Tish, you are right. There is no question. Companies will suffer surely, but we cannot just continue really with the thing that port workers just fall behind all the time. What can I say? Okay, what else we got? We've got, Adam Saunders. Good morning to you, young Adam. Thank you very much indeed. I don't know what this thing is. I can never work these things out, to be honest with you, and I can't really see that. Don't know. What is it, Adam? Tell me. Gareth, by the way, happy birthday. Thank you very much indeed. That's very kind. Okay. And it's true. Yes, I forgot what I said. No, the truth is we know companies will suffer, but why would one lot of workers suffer for another? The reality, let's be honest, I've run different companies at different times in my career and life. And the reality, I think, is that people have to get through. Back in the day, we had lots of strikes. And the reality is that sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. We can't say anything else. Let's see what else we got. We've got young Mark there. Morning, Mark. Thank you very much for that. Okay, what I'm going to do is just go back to that headline that I want to hit and get your responses to, because I think this is seriously important. And I think the guys, you have to make that decision whether this kind of offer might be acceptable. Would that be acceptable to dock workers? I don't know. I think maybe it could be. I think the thing about the lump sum is a con, really, is an attempted one over on you, if you like. So I think a straight percentage offer of, let's say 9.5 and something decent for next year would be interesting and potentially worthwhile. What do you think? I'd quite fancy that if it was me. There you go. But only you can make that decision with the union. And there you go. So what else we got? We've got Eileen. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you, Eileen. Okay, and there we have it. So that was the one. That's all I'm going to do today, folks, because it's my birthday and I'm now going to start the party. No, I'm not. I'm going to see if anybody's got me a present, and then I'm taking Dot to the dentist. Okay, I'm Chris. This is Felixstowe Live. I hope you found this somewhat informative and useful. Despite the birthday thing, I have to tell you, it's just one of those things. You have one every year. And I will be back with you, I hope, tomorrow with some more stuff and more information. As I've said before, if you have something to say that you want, if you want to say to me or tell me, and you want to do it privately, there is no question that we always keep anybody who writes to us, we keep your information and your details strictly confidential, unless you want us to do elsewhere otherwise. Okay, that's me. It's kind of, 7 minutes before 12. And I'm going to tinkle off and have some holiday, have a bit of a day out and a bit of a rest, and I'll have a big lunch as well. So I'll see you soon. Take care. Don't overdo things, and if I can, find the right button, I'll say thank you very much indeed for following this show. I enjoy it no end, and hopefully I can bring you information that is useful and of interest. I'm Chris. This is Felixstowe Live. I'll see you.